feel bad for Jennifer, but I will say she is a magnet for being scammed. She just had an entire documentary about getting scammed from some other guy. And I don't know, there's just something about Jennifer that she just doesn't have street smarts like that.
Listen, Jennifer Williams, there's something I need to tell you.
You in danger, girl.
So all the talk about Christian Gold having no money and living off Jennifer Williams was true after all. Ever since the court ordered Christian to pay up, he's gone MIA. Like just disappeared music, while Jennifer is out here defending him. And just like the times before, Jennifer has realized that she's been caught in yet another Ponzi scheme. And you already know Evelyn Lozada isn't about to let her live it down.
I have common sense and I have discernment and I have learned from these mistakes that I've made.
If you've been watching Basketball Wives, at some point you might have felt bad for Jennifer Williams. She's always had bad luck with men, because so far she's only been with men that have been absolute disasters. It got so bad that she was able to produce a documentary on her life called My True Scam Story after she realized that she'd been scammed by yet another boyfriend. But her current husband, Christian Gold, might just be the worst of all of them. And what's even crazier is that Jennifer is okay with it as long as she gets to stay married. Music. When Christian and Jennifer went public with their relationship and later got engaged, he took full advantage of the newfound attention. Christian positioned himself as an investor and multi-millionaire trader who knew how to make the markets work in his favor. He showed off his lifestyle all on Jennifer's dime, enough to give him credibility and make people trust him and invest with him. Christian was bragging about his wealth, music, constantly. And Jennifer also played him up like they were this successful power couple. But girl, it didn't take too long for Christian to show what scheme he was up to. After they got engaged in August 2023, music, Jennifer and Christian were set to get married on September 14, 2024 in Paris. However, all their plans turned upside down after Christian was sentenced to 15 days in prison for violating his probation. He was also in trouble for not paying the restitution he owed to his victim from a past DV case. Now, Jennifer stood 10 toes by her man and made sure that they still made it to Paris for their wedding. Insiders say that she also paid the restitution for his victim. But here's where the scamming started. When Jennifer asked him how much the restitution was going to be, he told her that it was $250,000. And of course, he wanted her to help him pay it off.
And then, of course, you know the situation we talked about with me and parole and still paying restitution.
Yeah.
It's an astronomical amount that I have to give to them in order to make sure I'm off. And we're talking a little under $250,000.
But after his arrest became public and the internet started digging through the court documents, they realized that the restitution was nowhere close to the amount he allowed to fall out of his music mouth. All this time, Christian had been asked to pay $12,500, and he and his lawyer confirmed that it was true. So, how did Christian land on $250,000? He expected Jennifer to give him just because she wants to be called Mrs., but she still ignored the red flags and went ahead with the wedding. And now she's paying for it big time. Last year, people who emptied their pockets to invest in Christian's trading business finally sued him. Because of his public image and the way he communicated with them, they trusted him enough to invest and clear out their accounts. But as soon as the money flowed in, Christian went silent. No communication, no updates, no nothing. If someone pushed hard enough, he would pay them back a fraction of their investment using someone else's money, music, and then convince them to leave the rest with him so that it could grow and bring more profit. Yeah, a classic Ponzi scheme.
So in March, my husband and I looked at each other and we said, something don't sound right. Because if he's got all this money, and I'm going to tell you, our project accounts at this time, I think they were all running, and when we totaled it up in March, it was like $1.1 million equally between all of them. So we're like, there's no way he can't pull from this and give us yes, and I do have receipts of all of this.
Since Christian didn't put up any defense, the court granted a default judgment stating that the plaintiff's claim of $120,000 was granted as liquidated damages. However, he was also found guilty under Georgia's RICO laws, and the court ordered Christian to pay $367,625. Music, which is triple the amount he was sued for. Before the judgment came out, Christian and Jennifer had been going on a media campaign talking about how he had a net worth of $8 million and didn't need to scam anyone to make money. And when Evelyn tried to expose Jennifer for lying, Christian attacked Evelyn and made it clear that Jennifer was going to leave Basketball Wives, Music, and the two of them were going to have their own reality show and make it big.
I can tell you, I don't give a damn how many producers, executives are on this fucking live. How many times have y'all called me and I'm like, yo, I'm not filming? Because I don't do all that bullshit. All that shit is all that salacious shit that y'all want to put out on it and to chastise a black man and make me look like a villain. I never wanted to do it. But I did it because my wife is really the one with the storyline. When we're talking about her and this Evelyn, she's the one with the real storyline. So of course I'm going to show up. And I'm looking at things for the future and I'm saying, okay, what is the next step for my wife to get off of Basketball Wives for us to go into something different? Maybe like get our own.
But have y'all heard anything from Christian? Not a word, not even a sound. He hasn't even come to brag about how many cars and chains he has. Jennifer, on the other hand, was still doing my man. She posted reviews showing other investors praising Christian and acted like it was only haters who didn't want to see her marriage work.
When it comes to my marriage, it's something that I am going to defend at all costs because leave him out of it. I'm on the show, and if you have an issue with me, that's fine, but I don't understand why women always have to bring up someone's husband. You know, and especially when you ain't got one for me to talk about.
Jennifer has been trying to put a bold front that everything is still okay with them. But folks were right when they said Christian wasn't going to stick around if things got heated. Insiders are saying that he bailed on Jennifer the minute he realized that he was going to have to pay that much money. Allegedly, he has moved to Vegas and left Music, Jen behind. But do y'all know what the crazy part is? Even if he was around, Christian still didn't have a dime to give nobody. Jennifer was always going to be the one to cough up that money, especially now that they are married. And maybe she would have done it out of love or to play naive. But with Christian out of the picture, Jennifer is stuck with a debt she's got nothing to do with. With the divorce settlement she got from Eric Williams, the money from the sale of her gyms and her hair extension line, I'm sure Jennifer has enough money to live well on her own. But she ain't got it like that to be paying a scammer's bills. Her major source of income also happened to be Basketball Wives, which just ended. She reportedly does not and has never owned any property. She's been renting her home ever since Basketball Wives premiered, and from what sources are saying, there isn't much of a portfolio to draw from. So this bill Christian dropped on her lap is the last thing Jennifer is ready to deal with. And word is that she's preparing to move out of LA and put it all behind her. But the internet isn't here for Jennifer, pretending like she didn't know this was going to happen. She should have drawn the line after paying $12,000 for his restitution, or should have kept quiet rather than defend him blindly when the victims of his scheme started speaking out. And now that he's bailed on her, too, she's just going to have to live with it. Jennifer is not dumb. She is as long as the check clears type that will ignore everyone and everything as long as she has what she wants. That will cost her even more in the future. It's sad. Jennifer is so embarrassing with her unwavering support for that man to her own detriment. They will soon be sitting behind bars once the feds jump on this. She will be singing a totally different tune then. They need to take Jennifer's money, too, because she was helping him take people's money when they were together. She kept saying what he was doing was legit. But what do y'all think about this? Sound off in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Music, see you later, baddies.